Could she have been trying to make me the father of someone else's baby? Hey everyone! First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who commented and helped out on my latest posts regarding my girlfriend's infidelity, and her lack of remorse and lack of strength to help me move on from this misery. Recently, I've been thinking more in depth regarding the whole situation. She had cheated on me with a coworker of hers during a time where, according to her, we were separated. Now I come to understand that she was emotionally checked out from our relationship. However, I was not aware, and nothing was official. Basically, what I know and what I found out is that she sent a nude picture to this coworker of hers, and from the text logs and call logs they had been talking with one another for almost a month and a half. Once I caught her, she promised me she would do anything to reconcile the situation, and that she wouldn't talk to this person again. But that wasn't true, because I had caught her in her car through the Tesla cameras with that same person. She refused that anything physical had happened, and I really wanted to believe her, and I guess you could say that I did, because here I am still with her. We already had a cruise trip planned out, so 2 weeks after that incident when I caught him in her car, we were already at the cruise, and she kept saying that she already has my baby and that she's possibly pregnant. To me it just was so odd, because even though we have unprotected intimate, I did not get her pregnant within the 2 years, because I am always so very cautious. So what I'm really thinking at this point is that she actually had intercourse with this other person, and she thought she was pregnant with them and wanted to make it seem as if it was my child. Either way, as I've done with my previous posts, I am just writing here to share my experience so others could possibly connect with me, and most of all this is for me to gain some strength and courage to leave this toxic relationship. So far I've been so grateful for all the help I've been receiving from people commenting, and I am way stronger than I was before. Comment. You should believe when someone show you who they are, accept it. Here you are, but you don't have to be. There is always a choice. You can walk, take DNA test, if it your co-parent, if not, you left a liar, cheater, manipulative person behind. Is up to you. If you want to be an example on how to be in this situation, walk. If you stay, you could be here again 10 years from now, crying. Looks like you figured out what were her intentions. For sure she cheated, and she thought she's pregnant, then shifted her attention towards her safety plan. Like I've said in the other post, get out of that relationship, bro, muster some strength, courage, put an end to it and move on. The pregnancy news is meant to distract you from thinking about the cheating. Whether as she cheated emotionally or physically, it doesn't matter. She formed a connection with someone outside the relationship. She broke your trust, and you can't really trust anything she says anymore. How is it you say she basically told you off, and you said you begged her to work it out, and now you say she was begging you for a chance? Just break up. Why are you wasting your time and life on someone who told you off and made sure you felt like shit, then proceeds to keep cheating on you? Just let her go, stop being weak. She doesn't love or respect you, and you are just holding on to someone who will, so he's more worried about losing you than his possible child. You need to drop him ASAP. You are young, trust an old woman when I say this is not your everlasting love. He's a cheater. He's an idiot anyway, only using pull-out method considering how young other girl sounds. You did right by the girl. That had to be hard. Hope she didn't know about you. Han, please leave this cheating jerk behind and find a faithful, loyal boyfriend. Over worst if you don't grow a backbone and leave. So break the hell up. What aren't you getting? She does not want you, she doesn't care if you break up and leave her, so do it. You truly need to be single, like at least for 3 years, because you truly shouldn't be in any relationship right now till you can know your worth. I don't know why you're still with her after she cheated on you, promised to cut contact with her AP and broke her promise. Now it's very likely she's pregnant with his baby. Break up with her and tell her you want a paternity test done. It can be done even while she's pregnant. If it's yours, your responsibility is only to pay child support as mandated by the law. You will not be in a relationship with her, and you're not going to play happy family with her cheating ass. Chances are that it's not yours and you can sweep her away from your life. From the look of your post history, This has been going on for the longest time. You always say you'll leave but you end up coming back with another post. Is this really how you want to spend your fleeting moments? Is this the kind of love you think you deserve? I tend not to advise indecisive people here a lot, because it feels like a waste of my efforts since they never make any move to change their situations. But I'll tell you once, get TF out of that relationship. Continuing to stay with her but think you'll come her and rant to us and expect feedback is insulting. You can either leave and go find the love you deserve, or you stay with her and keep quiet. Your choice. Story 2. Just found out my boyfriend cheated. He was at a bar with some friends then went to a house party after. I found out what happened through my brother. My brother told me he and the girl were talking and she was trying to calm him down after a confrontation with another guy at the party. The girl went in for the kiss and then after the kiss my boyfriend backed up and just continued the conversation like normal. My brother wasn't there the whole entire time so this is all I know as far as him being there but who knows what else went on while he was gone. I checked his phone and he even texted her the next day. I wasn't there, I believe I was at work or just decided to stay home this day. It's been almost a month since the party but I just found this out today and my boyfriend hasn't told me and doesn't know that I know. How should I confront him and what do you think I should do about this situation? I'm thinking I will have my brother call him and just say you need to tell her what happened or I just wanna see if he'll tell me at all or if he will lie. Or maybe I can just tell him I already know what happened that night but I won't go into detail just so he can tell me exactly everything. Or maybe I can say I know you and the girl had intimate that night, even though from as far as I know they didn't, but I think I might just say it because if they actually did then he would admit to it if he thinks I already know, instead of me saying I know you guys kissed because if more than that actually did happen then he wouldn't go into detail if he thinks that's all I know. If any of that makes sense but any advice would help. I'm so hurt. All of this just makes sense now because lately he's been down my back so much and accusing me so hard. He honestly acts like an insider's female in a relationship. I have done a few things to break the trust which I've already admitted but nothing like this. But now I know his behavior is just because he's been feeling guilty. Comment. Tell your brother to bring it up, he won't lie if there's a witness. No, tell your brother to contact him but tell him don't say specifically what he saw or who it was but that he knows what he was up to. Then tell him you heard he slept with someone else, don't say specifically who but that you heard and that it was perhaps more than just the one. Tell your brother to tell him that he knows everything that happened and that she's been telling people the details and that they text each other. That means if it wasn't as bad as your brother makes out, your BF will go above and beyond to prove it. If it's as bad as your brother makes out, then you've got answers. But your brother should say that she's told people everything, so it's not like he can say it's a rumor. Sounds like you're projecting. She tried to kiss him, he backed away, end of story. You admitted you've broken his trust before, so you're worrying that he's doing something you'd do. That's what this sounds like. Honestly, if you are going to act this way he should break up with you. You have a wild suspicion with no evidence beyond the facts he stepped back. Yet I think you should get your brother to tell him. If you don't tell OP I will. I think that's a good idea. But also, this is toxic AF, but try and get something from him before it ends, like an expensive necklace or maybe new shoes lol. Nothing left to lose I guess. I hope everything goes well OP, you're strong and I'm sorry this is happening. Everything will work out in your favor, believe me. Break up. Seriously. Why do you all stay and play these stupid games? Just break up and block him. He cheated, you know he cheated and he texted her, now he's projecting on you, so guess what? He doesn't love you, he doesn't respect you. This person isn't your person. Break up, block him, go work on yourself. Story 3. My boyfriend cheated on me and almost got her pregnant. Sorry this is a bit long. So we've been together for a while now, a couple of months, and the 15th is our anniversary. We met yesterday and I ended up losing my virginity to him. He mentioned once that he's not a virgin but also said he was a virgin once, so I was very confused about it. But it didn't really bother me because I wanted to do it regardless of his body count. When I was leaving, this girl calls him and starts panicking about a possible pregnancy, and he begins to freak out and ask me a bunch of questions about periods and stuff. I answered them but asked who this was for, and he said a friend. At this point I was very suspicious because he was freaking out a little too much. So I sat him down and calmly asked him to tell me the truth and that I won't get mad. He kept saying, "You're going to leave me, you're going to break up with me." I started getting mad and firmly asked him to just tell me the truth. 10 days ago they met and hooked up. He used the pull-out method and her period was supposed to come 4 days later, but it did not. It's been 10 days since they hooked up and still no period. I wanted to deal with the cheating later because at this point I was more worried about the girl. I called her and explained to her that her period could just be late by a week and it's nothing to panic about just yet. I also asked her to buy a couple of pregnancy tests since fake positives exist. She began sobbing that she lives with her parents and would be disowned if she's caught using a pregnancy test and can't buy one on her own. So I offered to buy one for her because at the moment only I had cash on me, unlike my boyfriend. On our way to the drugstore he kept crying and begging me not to leave him and told me how much he loves me and how big of a mistake it was. I was perplexed at his audacity because just a few weeks ago, he was talking about how he couldn't bear it if I ever cheated on him. He kept trying to hold my hand or move me towards the sidewalk carefully during crossing roads and shit, but I would move his hand away and ask him not to touch me. That broke his heart because he looked genuinely hurt. But I was so much more hurt. Just an hour ago we were kissing under the rain and dancing and feeling each other, and now to think those same hands were touching some other girl in that same manner makes me want to hurl. I bought her the tests and then wanted to leave immediately, but he kept insisting on not walking away so fast because it was still raining like this was something out of an old Bollywood movie. Right before I got in my car he kept holding my hand saying, "Please baby, I love you," and all I could manage to say was, "I wish I couldn't love you because it really hurts." I called her as soon as I got in the car and told her not to worry and panic and that everything would be okay, solely because I was scared for her. I didn't want her to pregnant and have to experience something like this all alone with her parents' disapproval. Once I explained what she needs to do about the tests and next I cut the call without engaging in further conversation. He texted me a "I'm sorry, good night, I love you" message later, but I still haven't replied to it. I still want to be with him, that's the worst part of it. It's not that I'm attached to him solely because I lost my virginity or something, but I really hoped we'd work out. We talked marriage and kids already in the future a few years down the road. I really expected more from him. He's always treated me well. So to even think of this in my wildest scenarios of overthinking, were non-existent. Comment. So he's more worried about losing you than his possible child. You need to drop him ASAP. You are young, trust an old woman when I say this is not your everlasting love. He's a cheater. He's an idiot anyway, only using pull-out method considering how young other girl sounds. You did right by the girl. That had to be hard. Hope she didn't know about you. Han, please leave this cheating jerk behind and find a faithful, loyal boyfriend. He's cheating on you. That's not treating you well. You assumed he was treating you well. She's not the first he's cheated with, clearly. But she may be the first to have a pregnancy scare. Do you want a life of this when he said he would disown you if you cheated? I'm sure he was hurt that he got caught. This happened 10 days ago. If he felt any guilt whatsoever he would have told you immediately the next day. Also, if it was a one-night stand, how did the two of them have each other's numbers? This has been occurring for a long time, sweetie. He only cares that he got caught and might be a young dad. That's it. You don't enter into that as a person with feelings except for what you can do for him. He is also putting your health at risk by not using protection. You need to go get tested for STIs. He's probably cheated before this and not used protection for any of it. If she is pregnant and keeps the baby, do you really want to stay with him and be forced into a role that only happened because he cheated? No blame to the possible baby, but you need to decide if you could be in the kid's life and not resent them. Please take care of yourself first. he does not matter in the long run for your life. You all sound young, but the other girl sounds really young, so if she is a minor and he is not, that's even worse. I have not seen this mentioned. I am also sorry that I can't ask this in a non-offensive way. When you had your first time with him, did he use a condom? You sound very mature and sensible, and I am making the assumption you are on birth control. I would advise you, if he did not go and get a health check. She might have been a virgin, and by the reaction she gave she was, but if there have been other women and his only prevention is pulling out, does not stop any form of STD transference. His ignorance and unfaithful attitude is the type of character that could and probably would catch something and pass it on.